One of the questions that Ignatius addresses, at least to some extent in his rules for the spiritual exercises, is, are the spiritual exercises for everyone? And his short answer is no. There has to be a certain predisposition to making the exercises, an openness, a willingness to listen, to hear, and to respond. And those people who are not able to do that, who either lack the freedom or lack the imagination maybe to do that kind of experience, he counsels the director of the exercises to give them meditations on the first week, sinfulness, the moral life, the things they should do to live a good and upright life, not with the idea of calling them to a deeper understanding of their vocation. In some ways, I think he would equate that with the first level of humility. Live a good life, do what you will, avoid sin, and help your neighbor. All good things. And that isn't to say that somebody who's not capable of making the full exercises is inferior or is lacking something, simply that the role that they're called to is there. So who is most likely to profit from the spiritual exercises? Ignatius would answer, the person with a generous heart, someone who is willing to listen and is willing to make the changes that are necessary in their lives to follow Christ more closely. So it's not someone who has to be particularly educated. The spiritual exercises were given to people of all classes. Ignatius did prefer a more educated elite, but that was because of the power structures of the 16th century. Certainly brothers in the Society of Jesus made the spiritual exercises at their novitiate and their time in formation. And many of them got a great deal out of it because they were generous of spirit and they had what they needed for the exercises. So it's not something that I would say is particularly limited to a certain class or to a certain level of religious understanding, but rather to the disposition that someone has. How open are they to listen and to try this kind of prayer?